having me.
So, it is election day in America, so I just want to get your thoughts and feelings. How crazy is it down there?
Well, it's pretty crazy considering everyone is talking about the election right now, so I think everyone's just anxiously waiting to see if our president will stay the same or if we'll have a new winner tonight.
It should be an interesting race. Now, I learned through emails that your father is originally from Canada.
Yes.
Right on, from Mississauga, Ontario. So that's it's not too far from our studio, actually.
Awesome. That's actually where I was born, too.
You were born in Mississauga, right on. Do you get to go back much?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Do you get to go back much?
I do. My dad's family still lives up there, so we get to go up a couple of times a year and visit family, which is so nice because I love visiting up there. It's so beautiful.
Great on. Whereabouts in Mississauga? Were you born at Credit Valley?
I'm sorry?
Were you born at Credit Valley Hospital?
I was, yes.
Right on. I lived in Oakville for 17 years, just moved to downtown Toronto, so I know the area quite well.
It's a beautiful place.
It is. Now, you're living in Nashville at the moment. What's it like down in Nashville?
Oh, it's amazing. You hear music all the time. It is definitely Music City for a reason. It's a very inspiring place and just very friendly as well.
Now, you're a country musician. I had a chance to just watch your video, Ragtop Girl. What is that? That video looks like it was a lot of fun. Just making that video and singing that song. It looks like a lot of fun. How much fun was it creating that video?
Oh, it was amazing. Actually, the video was actually filmed in Macon, Georgia, which is one of the places I call home. And it was actually filmed at a concert that I had back in April, and it was so much fun to have that live audience, sing along to my song and really getting into it, and just being able to capture their excitement and their love for the song and just create it with a video. It was amazing, and I love watching it over and over and seeing, the expressions on people's faces.
Yeah, it does look like a lot of fun, and it's a really catchy song, too. Do you want to talk a little bit about how you kind of came up with that song?
I have my co-writer, and, he is amazing. I went in with an idea of I just wanted a very carefree song and something that had to do, with radio, your car type thing, and we went from that idea and ended up with Ragtop Girl, and it was just one of those songs where I wanted it to be, you listen to it in your car and bop along and it kind of gets stuck in your head, and I think we kind of accomplished that, so I'm very proud of it.
Now, you've been featured on some pretty big stuff. Billboard, ABC7, Washington, D.C., the Macon Telegraph, Fox 24 News in Central Georgia. What's it like to get all this media attention? It's from, reputable publications.
It's honestly just so much fun because I really enjoy talking to, so many different people and the questions that they have. I mean, what's so much fun about these interviews is they're not the same. There's different questions each time, and even sometimes it makes me think about, the different answers I want to give and stuff. So it's great. I really do enjoy all of the interviews and whatnot. And I appreciate everyone, taking the time with talking to me and giving me that, media coverage.
Now, you originally moved to Nashville, not long ago, and you spent time in Georgia. Now, was Georgia have you lived in Georgia for most of your life?
It's funny because my dad, is from Canada and whatnot, but he kept moving up the corporate ladder, and we actually moved quite a bit when I was growing up. So I've lived in California, Florida, and Georgia, but Georgia is kind of home base due to that's the longest I've lived in a place. So middle Georgia, hometown is Warner Robins, and then I graduated high school in the Atlanta area.
What's the country scene like for somebody, and because you are Canadian, you probably are a great person to ask this question. What's the country scene like in a place like Georgia compared to a place like Nashville? Is there a big difference?
Honestly, there's country music is country music. It speaks for itself sometimes, and it's, one thing that I've loved about country music is the lyrics. The songs always have stories and meanings and stuff, so it speaks to its audience. So Nashville and Georgia, they both get that country music because it's very southern thing sometimes.
Now, you mentioned you have the chance to come back to Canada. Have you ever had the chance to come back to Canada to perform?
I have not. I have not had the opportunity yet, but I would absolutely love it because it would be great to have my family actually that lives up there be able to see me perform live. And the fan base that I have up there as well, I would love to interact with them in the crowd.
Now, you also have another, in your latest single is I Will Fight On, and talk to me about this single. I understand there's a bit of an inspiration really behind this song.
I actually wrote the song for a friend who is battling breast cancer, and my co-writers actually also wrote I Will Fight On, I'm sorry, Red Top Girl with, wrote I Will Fight On with me, and the day that I released it on iTunes, he was actually diagnosed with cancer himself, and unfortunately this past weekend lost the battle. So this song has so much meaning to me, and it just means so much, and I hope that, when people hear it, they can be, touched by it as much as I have, if not more.
Now, you also got a chance to perform at the 2012 CMA Fest. What was that like for you?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
You got a chance to perform at the 2012 CMA Fest. So I just want to know what that was like for you.
Oh, it was so great because the CMA Fest is, you see so many country music fans, and for them to be able to hear your music, as a new up-and-coming artist, to, meet them and hear and introduce myself with them, and, them being able to hear my music, it's just so much fun to interact with them and meet them and talk with them, and it was just such an honor to perform on this, perform at CMA Fest, but hopefully one day I'll be up on those big stages as well.
Growing up, you cite that Shania Twain, Christina Aguilera, Michael Jackson, and Martina McBride are some of your biggest influences. What is it about those musicians that really influence you?
For instance, I feel like Michael Jackson and Shania Twain, their music for sure, in my opinion, is just timeless. People are still listening to it today and know all the lyrics, and it's just so amazing to, grow up with that music and it still be current. And with all those artists that you named, it's just their music's very inspiring, timeless, and it's just great.
Going to switch gears here a little bit here because I know you had a chance to be interviewed by our national correspondent Nathaniel. So I'm going to do a little bit more of what we like to do. It's called the Speed Round here on Radio Nation. We just ask a lot of really fun and quirky kind of questions. It's kind of like 21 questions, but you're not on a date.
Oh gosh, okay.
So the first question is, what is your favorite type of food?
Favorite type of food? That would have to be cereal, would rank up there pretty high, and macaroni and cheese.
What is your favorite kind of cereal?
I love Honey Bunches of Oats and Honey Nut Cheerios, and those are probably my two favorites.
Honey Nut Cheerios, those are pretty good, I'm not going to lie.
Of course, I don't pick like a sugary cereal, I just go for the good cholesterol.
Oh yes. What is your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I actually have two favorites. Weekend at Bernie's and Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
If there was one place in the world that you could visit, where would it be?
Oh my goodness. Where would I visit? I've always said Fiji just looks like it would be so cool. But I'd probably just stay there right now, but anywhere. I would love to go anywhere that would be my passport.
There's a question. A lot of our questions are actually created by some of the guests we've had in the studio, and one of them, this one here, is created by a band we had called Last Bullet. And this question goes like this: so you've just committed a horrible murder, and you're on death row, and they're about to execute you, but you get one last meal. What is that last meal?
Oh my goodness. A last meal? Well, if I could have some cereal, I would. There's also this place in Atlanta called Mary Mac's, and it's just good old Southern food. And they have these, it's called sweet potato souffle, which is like marshmallows with sweet potatoes, and it's pretty much heaven in your mouth. So that would probably be one item that I would like as well.
If you could meet any musician and perform with any musician, who would it be?
Oh gosh, it'd be very intimidating, but I would love, to maybe perform with Carrie Underwood one day. She's just so amazing. Martina McBride, Pescod. There's probably too many to name at this point.
If there was a certain venue that you've always wanted to perform at, where would it be?
I would love to perform at the Grand Ole Opry. That place has so much history and so many legends have sang on that stage that it would be a true honor to perform there.
Give me you don't have to go too long, but talk about a favorite childhood memory that you have growing up. It doesn't have to be music related; it can be anything.
Well, growing up, I started singing when I was 7, but I switched gears for a little while. I played competitive basketball, so I have a lot of memories in gyms and traveling, with my family and whatnot. So, so many great memories as a basketball player, and then, when we moved a lot, just memories of the different states and traveling and stuff like that.
Now, are you a big sports fan?
I'm a pretty big sports fan, yes.
Do you have a favorite team in a particular sport?
I do love women's basketball. I played, and I used to play with Maya Moore, who is actually on the Minnesota team for the women's professional team. And so I'm a huge fan of them. Sports for men, like baseball, I would have to go with the Braves. And of course. And I'm not a big football fan, though, so that's about it right about now.
Now, you talked about growing up in southern Georgia. For us up in Canada who have never had the chance to go to southern Georgia, and I've been myself, but for those who haven't, what's it like growing up in a small town in southern Georgia? Is it a lot like you see on TV?
Sometimes if people get to watch the show, Nashville at all, they would actually see what Nashville is like. They portray it very well. But in small town Georgia, where I came from, I might not be a huge football fan, but Friday Night Football is where you go and you support your high school team, and the whole town's there, and everyone knows everyone type thing. It's an awesome place to grow up in. Just to have that community feel and all of that love supporting you.
And you mentioned that the food is really, really good down there. Do you have a particular type of southern Georgian type food or southern U.S. food that you just can't live without?
If people are going to come and visit, down south, they're going to have to get some fried chicken and, dumplings, and, Waffle House is a must as well.
Now, getting a little bit back to your career, you've got actually a show coming up in Atlanta on the 17th of November.
Yes, I do.
Give me your thoughts heading into that show.
What was that? I'm sorry?
Just if you don't mind giving your thoughts, what are your thoughts sort of heading into that Atlanta show?
I'm really excited about the Atlanta show. I actually haven't performed in Atlanta yet with my band, and this will be kind of my first performance in the Atlanta area with my full band, so I'm really excited to have, family and friends come out and this little bar and just rock the house with them and get them loud and excited and hear some of the new music that I've actually been writing.
Talk to me really quickly about your writing style. What kind of influences do you draw from? What sort of things inspire you to write?
I write life stories from friends, myself, my family, anything that just, I could be driving down the road sometimes and all of a sudden, a random idea will come in and I'll have to pull over, write it down on my phone or have a little voice memo and made up stories as well. Honestly, I just pull from, inspiration from inside and friends, and whenever that pen meets with the paper, whatever comes out, we just kind of go with.
You mentioned that you're driving down the road and you have you get a song idea. Now, has that happened in moments where you maybe can't stop and do it, like whether you're in school or you're in the shower or you're not near electronic devices to type something down?
Yeah, it hasn't happened yet, actually, and it's it does happen. I would probably just say it over and over and over in my head so I would not forget. So I would be able to, meet that paper or that phone or something and write it down.
What's the hardest part about being a country musician, especially in an environment where there are so many other country musicians that are doing exactly what you're doing?
The hardest part is, sometimes it can be waiting. You put all this hard work and effort into your project as your CD or your EP or anything, and you just hope that, someone will believe in you and believe in your music as much as you do. And, that's a process, and sometimes it just doesn't always work out the way you want it. But I believe in that if you really put your mind into something, you really believe in it, and you can do it. So, it's just a matter of believing and having that hope.
Talk a little bit about social media. You've got 10,000 some odd followers on Twitter. You're pretty active on social media. How big has it been for you?
Yeah, one thing I love about the social media is how I can interact with my fans. It is so much fun to hear what they have to say and having the conversations I do with them and letting them get to know me. I think that's really important with my fan base, is connecting with them.
Anything else that you want to add to this interview that I maybe haven't touched on yet?
Honestly, you have covered a lot of bases, so I think I'm good. I just honestly am so thankful that you have had me on here, that we've actually had a chance to speak, and that all the listeners, thank you so much for listening, and hopefully you got to know a little bit of me, and we'll go on to Facebook and like my page and Twitter and Instagram, all these social media things. Follow and hop on this train that we're on and just enjoy the ride.
Well, Colby, before I let you go, I just want to say that I thought it was really, really cool. Like, I did all the research that I could on you before, well before today, and you had the chance to meet Nathaniel, which I can't thank you enough for. But I think it's really cool that I learned this tonight, literally 2 hours before going there, that you're actually born in Canada. I had no idea, and I think that's really cool. That wasn't really the aim here. We like to promote musicians from all over, but it's definitely cool. So you're always welcome to come into our Toronto studio whenever you're up here.
Well, thank you. I would love to perform up there very soon. So when I do book a show, I will definitely let you know, and hopefully it'll let the listeners know, and we will have a fun rockin' show.
All right, Colby. Well, I will let you enjoy the rest of your election night in America. And if you hadn't had a chance to vote, hopefully you get a chance to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, take care, Colby. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you. Have a great one.
Cheers. And there you have it. There's Colby Dee from Nashville, Tennessee. Spent some time in Georgia, Florida, and California, and is originally from Mississauga, Ontario, born at Credit Valley Hospital, which is pretty cool stuff. All right, so that's it for Radio Nation. I'm your host, Nicholas Pescod. You've been listening to another fantastic edition of the show. You can follow us along on Twitter at radio_nation and Facebook, www.facebook.com/radionation.ca. So long and good night from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. You've been listening to Radio Nation, broadcasting live from Centennial College.